NATO is deepening its ties to non-member Asia-Pacific countries, signaling the United States' desire to counter China in the region. The war in Ukraine remains atop NATO's priority list, and the attendance of leaders like from Australia, New Zealand, Japan and South Korea at the group's summit this week shows how Russia and China present overlapping challenges to a US-led world order. Hosting the summit, by the way, gives Joe Biden a chance to showcase his leadership on the world stage. But it's happening at an awkward time. He is simultaneously dealing with pressure to bow out of the presidential race after his shaky debate performance against Trump raised questions about his ability to do the job for another 4 years. We have with us foreign policy lecturer and analyst from John Hopkins University, Edward P. Joseph, on the broadcast for further clarity. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Many analysts I'm speaking to seem to echo the belief that this year's NATO summit is outwardly tough but inwardly brittle. The summit aims to project unity and shared interests, but outwardly, but internally, you think there are increasing anxieties and worries among member countries?
I can tell you and speak quite confidently with you and your viewers this evening, as I'm just coming from a special summit event with the foreign policy chief of the European Union. That is what should be, in most situations, would be the competing entity to the US-led NATO alliance. And I just heard High Commissioner Josep Borrell state unequivocally his absolute firm commitment, the firm commitment of the European Union to NATO as the preeminent territorial defense for Europe. And I heard Brittle, again, this is the leader of the European Union.
Yes.
What should be a competing organization say he just came from the event with President Biden, and that he was encouraged, was Mr. Brittle, and the EU delegation and NATO allies by Biden's strong commitment to the solidarity of the alliance, which you alluded to, which includes not just the 32 member states, but also some 35 partner countries.
Yes.
So the alliance itself is in quite strong condition.
In fact, sir, just a few hours ago, Global Times, which is backed by China's Communist Party, has said that the recent hype over the China threat by Western media ahead of the 3-day NATO summit and accusations of China supporting Russia once again reveal the US and NATO's intentions to extend their influence into the Asia-Pacific region for geopolitical gain. Do you see any rationality or truth behind the statement?
No, because NATO is concerned with territorial defense of Europe, as Mr. Brittle himself just stated.
Yes.
And the United States has other alliances, including the AUKUS alliance, and works very closely with partners, like very important partners, strategic partners like India, on defense on strategic defense and shared strategic defense in Asia. That includes Japan, includes South Korea, includes Taiwan, includes Australia, and as I mentioned, and also includes India. So the U.S. has other means to engage with collective territorial defense against threats such as China and its aggression, which India knows well and has seen territorially up close and has experienced. And so the United States has other means and does not need the NATO alliance to go into Asia. That's unnecessary, and no one is calling for that in the alliance.
Well, thank you so much, Edward Joseph, for joining us on the World 24/7. Well, the rise of far-right forces in Europe and the possible return of Donald Trump to the White House have all added uncertainties within NATO to reach consensus on major issues, but all eyes on Washington over the next 48 hours.